Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, if you're new here, this is Aditya here, and this channel is dedicated to one mission helping you get placed in the company of your dreams. Today's video is something I've been planning for a long time. This is the complete HR interview preparation guide, the most comprehensive, most practical, most up to date guide on the internet, especially designed for students and young professionals in India. In the next 45 to 60 minutes, I am going to take you from complete zero to someone who freezes in interviews to an absolute master who walks in confident, answers every question brilliantly, handles every curveball, and walks out with an offer letter. We are covering everything. There's a total of 19 slides that I've prepared, every topic, not a single thing that is missing here. So, if you are serious about cracking your next HR interview, whether you are a fresher or someone with experience, this is the only video you need to watch today. So, let's get started with it. And if you haven't already smashed that like button right now, it takes only 1 second and it genuinely helps this video reach more students who need it. So, all right, let's start with these slides. Here we go. So on your screen right now, you can see the title of today's session, HR Interview Mastery Zero to Expert. You will notice on this slide, we have four key stats, starting with 50 plus HR questions, 15 plus scenarios, AI ready tips, and 100 plus job focused content. These are not just numbers, these are promises. By the end of this session, you will have been exposed to every type of HR question, every type of scenario, and the modern AI era technique that most coaching centers are not even teaching yet. Let's move on with the roadmap. So, actually, what you will be going through today's video, I have listed out here in this roadmap. So, here's our agenda for the today. Think of this as the GPS for the entire session. We have basically 8 broad modules, and module 1 is understanding what an HR interview truly is. And then we move on to the module 2, which is all about the pre interview preparation. Next is Module 3, which covers the most common HR questions. Module 4 goes into the scenario based and tricky questions. Module 5 is basically freshers versus experienced guide. Okay, customized strategies for each profile type. And then we come to the module 6 is all about AI and the modern HR trends, where we discuss about the ATS, video AI screening, digital body language. So all these topics have been added into the module 6. So this is one of the like stuff that most of the people miss out on. Now, when we move on to module 7, it's all about the salary negotiation, how to negotiate confidently and professionally. And then finally, we have the last module of the this particular session, that is do's and don't, along with your final checklist. Now, that final checklist is very important. Each module is a complete lesson in itself. So stay with me till the end. The last few modules are arguably the most valuable. Okay, so let us start with the module 1. So it's very important for one to understand an HR interview. So if you want me to explain it with an example, okay, before you can win the game, you need to understand the rules. And most students actually walk into an HR interview without understanding what is the game that they have been actually playing with. Okay, so what is an HR interview? HR interview is a structured conversation between a recruiter and you. Okay, the candidate, that is the candidate. But here's the thing, most of the students, they don't realize it's not a test of how smart you are, but it is actually it's not a test, okay, of how many certificate you have, but it's a test of mainly 6 important things. Okay, first comes your communication, how clearly you can express yourself. Okay, then comes the cultural fit or culture fit. Do your values match the company's value? That is what is important. And self awareness, do you know your own strengths and weakness? Then comes the career clarity, actually if the student is very much clear about his career or not. One of the most frequent question asked on this is, do you have any plans of your for your higher education, like that, and where do you see yourself 5 years down the lane? So do you know where you're actually going? That is one of the things that is actually looked into the career clarity. Your expectations like around salary and joining. Then comes the adaptability. Can you handle change and stress? Okay. Now let's talk about the types of HR rounds you might face. Now this is just an overview of understanding the HR interview. So first we actually went through all the six type of things that is actually a HR evaluates. Then we are talking about the types of HR rounds that one can actually expect in an interview. First is the telephonic or the pre-screening round. These are sometimes usually around 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, call just to verify your profile and check your basic communication. Second is the video interview and is increasingly AI powered nowadays. Okay, not earlier, but from the past 3 years. We will talk about that in detail in our module 6. That is what I said. Okay. Third is the face-to-face interview or the panel interview. This is the traditional one where you walk into a room and meet one or more interviewers. Fourth is the group discussion. Now, this is the most important thing where most of the students are filtered out. Okay, actually, as per one of the surveys, around 70 to 85% of the students are filtered out in the group discussion itself. Okay, where they actually observe how you interact in a group setting. And the fifth is the final HR round, which is usually involves the offer, salary discussion, and the formal onboarding conversations. Now, here is the key insight that I want you to know is that is from this particular slide. HR is actually not your enemy. Okay, he is basically a normal human being whose job is to find the right person for the right role. Okay, if you walk in as the right person, confident, prepared, genuine, HR wants to hire you, they are going to root for you. Remember that it changes everything about how you walk into that room. So the most important thing is the first impression. Now coming to the module 2. Now module 2 is all about the pre-interview preparation. That is basically the foundation. Now this is the most important thing because for example, if you construct a home, the most important thing for the house to basically stand is its foundation. So for any type of preparation, your foundation is very important. So that is what we are going to discuss in the module 2. Which we have is actually pre-interview preparation. Okay, so this might be the most underrated module of the entire session, but trust me, it is going to be very helpful for you because the truth is that 80% of your interview success is decided before you walk into that room. Most students spend zero time on preparation and wonder why they blank out. Your preparation is your foundation. We have six categories over here. Let me walk you through each one of them. So I have here the first category, that is research about the company. This is really basically non-negotiable. Before every single interview, you must go through the company official website, their LinkedIn page, Glassdoor. Like there are various websites where you can search or do the research about the company. Okay, you need to know their mission, their product, or what are the services they provide, any recent news on the companies and how their culture is. Why? Because one of the most common question that you can expect in an interview is that what do you know about us? And if you say I have heard it's a good company, you have already lost. But if you say I noticed your company recently expanded into Southeast Asian market, so and so, blah and blah, I am expected about how my skills in the digital marketing could support your growth, like something like this. Okay, then you have already won the game. Now, when it comes to the second category, it is one of the most neglected thing, but something that is very easy. Okay, documents to carry. Always carry 10 sets of your resume, all the academic mark sheets, your ID proof, Aadhaar, passport, passport size photograph, offer letter, and pay slips if you are an experienced candidate. Now, this is very experienced, okay, because first impressions begins even before you open your mouth. So if you have all the documents that are required by the company when you attend an interview, then you are in their good faith. Category 3. Okay, professionalism during the presentation. Business formal or semi formal attire. Neat, clean, well pressed. Minimal accessories and fragrance. Groomed hair, clean nails, polished shoes. These details matter more than any of you can actually think. The first impression is very very important, so your attire is very very important. You need to look professional in case if you're going to attend an interview or you are there for giving any presentation. The HR is basically observing you from the moment you walk through that door. So once again, business formal or semi formal attire, neat clean pressed clothes, minimal accessories, fragrance, groomed hair and clean nails, polished shoes for basically in-person interviews. Okay, now coming to the fourth category, digital footprint check. HR will basically google you. Okay, I'm not guessing this, but basically they do. Before your interview, google your name, your own name, update your LinkedIn to be 100% complete, clean up embarrassing social media post, update your github if it's a technical role, set up a professional email id, not something like coolboy123 at gmail.com something and like 007 at gmail.com. No, these things are not needed. You need to have your email id to be very much professional. Now when you come to the category 5, that is the mental preparation. Okay, practice your answers by speaking it aloud. Okay, record yourself. Now recording yourself in front of a mirror or in front of a camera is very important. That shows your expression, facial expression, because when you're speaking in an interview, facial expressions are the most important thing. How you actually look while you are actually speaking is something that the HR pays attention to. Do a mock interview with your friend. Okay, prepare 3 to 5 star stories. Now I think you might be confused or you might be guessing like what is this star stories. We have that in our upcoming slides and I will clearly explain you what is this star technique that has been a game changer in the HR interview. Okay, we'll cover what that means in a few minutes. And please, okay, sleep by 10 p.m. The night before. Okay, and arrive always 15 minutes early. A rested, calm, and calm mind, okay, basically performs 10 times better than an anxious and a tired one. Now, coming to the final category, that is the online interview setup. Okay, if you're having an online interview, make sure for video interviews, test your camera. I've seen many cases. None of them they prepare for this online interview, and when they have the interview, either their laptop stops working, their laptop does not have a sufficient charging cable is not plugged in, they are not having a stable internet, or their camera is not working, permission is not there for the mic. All these kind of things happen. So test your camera, mic, internet speed the night before, or at least half an hour to 1 hour before. Use a plain uncluttered background. Make sure your face is well lit up. Dress professionally top to bottom. Yes, okay, this is very important. And you never know when you might have to stand up and you and put your phone on silent. Make sure your phone is not ringing during your interview. Okay, inform your family members not to disturb you. Okay, preparation is not optional, it's the price of the entry that you have to pay before you move into any kind of an interview or a job interview or into any company. Now this is all about this basically the module 2 pre interview preparation. Now here I have explained all the foundational thing, all the 6 different categories that is most of the time neglected by the students or sometimes by the experienced candidates themselves. Okay, but I hope if you pay a little bit attention to these 6 categories, you can really ace the HR interview. Now we move on to our module 3. Most common HR questions. I have divided this into 8 categories. Okay, now we are getting into the heart of the session. Okay, the actual questions. Okay, HR questions can be grouped into 8 major categories. That's what I actually just said. Understanding these categories means you will be truly surprised by any question, because every question HR asks, okay, falls into any one of these buckets. Now the category 1, that is about yourself. This is your story, your background, your identity as a professional. Okay, so the questions might be like, tell me about yourself, walk me through your resume, what are your hobbies, describe yourself in 3 words. Now these are some of the things that the HR will ask you, like, which can be grouped under the category of about yourself. Now when you come to category 2, okay, it's the strength and the weakness. Okay, what are your strength, what are your biggest weakness, how are you improving on it. Okay, strength relevant to this particular role, you might have applied for certain role. Now what are your strength pertaining to that particular role, that is one of the most important thing. And weakness, okay, weakness, you will have something and you will have to tell something, either you cook it up or if it is real, but someone will have some weakness that you will have to say. Okay, the most mishandled category, this is okay. We will give you a formula for this in the coming slide. Now next is the category 3, that is career goals. This I have just now spoken in the explained it in the previous slide also, how important is your career goals. Okay, where you are headed, why this particular role, and why do you want it right now. Now when it comes to category 4, it's the company knowledge. Company knowledge is very important before you move into the interview. Like why do you want to join that particular company, what do you know about them. Okay, why did you leave your current profile or current job if you are an experienced candidate, what actually differentiates us from your previous job. Now these are some of the things that you should know. Okay, and most importantly, do a proper research on the company that you're going to attend the interview for. That will really pay off. The fifth one, or the fifth category, is the teamwork and culture. Okay, so can you work with people, can you handle a conflict? That is what the HR is going to check here. Are you a team player? How you can actually handle the conflict? Okay, so what do you think your ideal team should look like, can you describe it? Okay, and if there is any negative feedback given to you, how do you handle that particular feedback? Now these are some of the things that HR will look into when you're talking about the teamwork and the culture. Finally, the sixth category, that is the most important one, is the behavior. We also tell it as a star technique. Okay, it is the biggest professional challenge. What is your biggest professional challenge? Okay, when you failed, or what did you learn from it? Okay, when was the last time you led a team? Okay, and then finally, like for example, give us an expectation when you actually exceeded the expectation of your previous employer. Now these are some of the things that the HR will actually ask you in the behavioral under the category of behavioral interview. And when you come to the seventh category, that is the salary and logistics. Now here what happens is that the HR will try to negotiate about the expected CTC, your notice period, relocation, traveling willingness. All these things are put up in the salary and logistics category. Finally, last one is the closing questions. Okay, in the closing questions, the questions that you can ask them, okay, or the questions they ask you to wrap up, anything else about you that I have to know. Okay, or do you have any questions for us? Now these are some of the things that the HR will try to ask you when he's almost about to end the interview. Are there any references? So these are some of the questions that you can expect in the closing section of the interview. Now these eight categories cover every HR questions that has ever been asked in the history of the job interviews. Okay, and if you're able to master these, and then you are ready for anything in the HR interview. Okay, now we deep dive into tell me about yourself, the most important questions that has been ever asked in the HR interview. Now for this, what's the formula? You combine your present, your past, and your future. Always relate everything to the particular job interview that you're attending. Okay, so let's talk about the single most important question of every HR interview. That is, tell me about yourself. Okay, now that most of the students say that they say their name, their college, their branch, their trail off with I am hard worker and a fast learner, and then there is a silence. This is the problem that happens when they start with their tell me about yourself. Okay, so here's the formula that works every single time. Okay, I want you to write it down. Okay, keep a notebook, and whatever points I'm telling you, you please make a note of this. The formula: the present, the past, the future. Start with the present. Who are you right now? Your name, degree, college, specialization, and one or two key skills. Then you move to the past: what you have done, projects, internship, certifications, achievement, awards, or anything concrete. Then end with the future. Okay, like why this particular company, why you value, what value do you bring to this company if you join them. Okay, so what are your goals? Now these are the future things that you're putting up. Okay, so with this what happens is that you're telling your present, what you're actually right now. The past, you're relating it with your internships, paper publication, certification, exhibition, projects, all those things, and then you're telling them about the future where you see yourself. So this is the formula, that is present, past, and future. We call it as ppf. Okay, the next thing, that is the most important thing, is, and basically if you want to give me an example of how you can speak, so you can start with, hi, I'm Aditya, a computer science graduate from so and so college, with a specialization in full stack development, and something like, I have built projects in React and Node.js, achieving top performances in my batch. And then you go back to the past. During my studies, I completed a 6 months internship and XYZ, okay, where I built a customer portal, and that reduced the response time by 30%. I also led a 4-member team in a national level hackathon where we won the second place. I'm excited about this role at your company because of your focus on AI driven solutions. I aim to contribute immediately to your product team while growing into a solution architect in the next 3 to 4 years. Now, that's something fantastic. Okay. So, you are actually telling them like completely about your present, past, future, and there you're showing your confidence that you're already placed in that particular company by relating yourself with that company in the future. Okay. The key rules, make sure that you're keeping your tell me about yourself under 90 to 120 seconds. Okay. It's almost like 1.5 to 2 minutes. That's all. Okay. Do not mention personal life unless specifically if it is relevant, and practice it 20 times, 30 times until it sounds natural. It should never look like that you are reciting something that you have like studied or mugged it up. Okay, and not something like you are reading it from a script. These are some of the things that you should remember when you're talking about tell me about yourself. Okay, now when it comes to the module 4, now this is what I was talking about, the star method. Answer any behavioral questions like a pro. Okay, so the module 4, that is the star method, is basically a framework that transforms vague, unforgettable answers into compelling, memorable stories. So here you are basically stitching up a story. Okay, anytime a HR asks a behavioral question, something that starts with tell me about a time when, okay, something like that, or give me an example of, okay, they want a story, not a theory but a story, not what you would do but basically what you actually did. Okay, so this is what is basically a star method. It is basically a storytelling structure only. So S is basically the situation. Okay, here you set the context. Okay, where were you, what was the challenge. Okay, and the most important thing, be specific about the company, project, semester, and event name. Okay, so this is what is basically the situation, the first word of the star, situation. Second thing is the task. Okay, what was your role? Okay, what were your responsibilities? The key word is here is your. Okay, not the team, it's about you here. That is the most important thing. Okay, your specific responsibility. Okay, and you need to clarify these things very precisely. Okay, next comes the action. This is the most important part, what you did specifically. Okay, okay, what you actually did specifically. Use the word I, not we here. You should use I, because this is all about you. The star is all about you. You are telling a story with respect to yourself, not with respect to your team, not with respect to your parents, not with respect to your friends. You are telling the story about yourself. Okay, so the action is the most important part. You, what did you specifically do, that you have to mention. You have to use the word I, not we. Be detailed, specific. Walk them through your actual steps. Finally, the result. Okay, this is the most important part. Okay, so here what did you specifically do? Okay, sorry, the result part. Here you have to tell what actually happened. Use the numbers. So in the result part, after the action, you're telling what was your basically result, what happened. Okay, so use the numbers if possible, percentages, time saved. This is all about statistics. Okay, so here you have to give statistics. That is having a very good impression when you speak with numbers. Okay, not with like theory but with numbers. They have a very good chance of possibly at the receiving end. Okay, it is well received by the employer. Use numbers if possible, percentages, time saved, money saved, scores achieved, and always end with what you actually learn. So if you basically want to give me an example. So if the question is, tell me about a time you worked under pressure. So first you have to tell the situation. During my final year project, our team discovered a critical bug, okay, or a critical problem 2 days before the submission deadline. Now, what will be your task? No, you should say that as a team lead. So you are telling, you're projecting yourself as the main member of the team here. That shows that you have taken the responsibility here. Okay, it was my responsibility to fix it without affecting my teammates work. And what was the action? Okay, here you build up the excitement here. So you will say here, I stayed back for 2 consecutive nights, debugged the entire code systematically, okay, held daily 30 minutes check-ins with the team, and divided the remaining work efficiently. So this actually proves that you are an efficient leader, you are a hard working person, you are the one who is ready to take the responsibility. And finally the result, we submitted on time, and then you put the statistics on the face, like scored around 95 out of 100, and our project was selected for the college exhibition. I learned that calm structured thinking beats panic every time. So that's the learning from your one of the most important situation. Okay, this answer will be very much memorable. It is specific, it is all about you, and proves that your values are far better than any certificates ever could. Now, when you come to the top behavioral questions you must prepare is for, tell me about a time you failed. Okay, show here you must show resilience plus what you actually learned. What did you go beyond your job role? When did you go beyond your job role? Quantify that extra impact you had on that. Tell me about your biggest achievement. Use the star plus the numbers, like just I gave you. Okay, describe a conflict with a colleague. Okay, focus on the resolution, not to blame. You should never blame anyone in an interview. Okay, how did you handle the tight deadlines? Process plus being calm under pressure. Now these are some of the things or the questions that are asked in the behavioral round, and you can actually use the star technique here. Prepare for at least 5-star stories before any interview. Okay, they are basically your ammunitions. Okay, now this is all about the module 4. Now when we move on to the tricky HR scenarios, how to handle each one masterfully, here I've listed out few of the examples. Okay, now basically this slide is one of my personal favorites. Okay, because this is where most of the students crash and burn. Okay, in the tricky and unexpected situation. Okay, so I'll be taking you through these 6 real scenarios and show you exactly what to say. Okay, so when we come to the first scenario, scenario 1, okay, where you are having your, basically where you are having your current job. Okay, okay, so basically why are you leaving your current job? This is the question. If this is something that is related with your current job, so the question sometimes is, why are you leaving your current job? Now most of the time the answer will be like, my boss is toxic, no growth, better salary. Now these are some of the very wrong answers. So what should be your answer is that, before that, even if all of this what you just mentioned is true, saying it an interview is a career suicide. HR immediately thinks that you will be saying the same thing about them someday when you move on from that particular company for which you are interviewing. So the right answer is, I've gained valuable experience in XYZ company. Now I'm looking for the role with a greater scope. Okay, in a specific skill for which you are actually attending the interview. Your company's focus was on so and so area, aligns perfectly with my next chapter. So this is how you basically put up the answer when a question is asked on leaving your current job. Okay, and most importantly, always stay positive about your past employers. Never say anything negative about your past employers. Now when you come to the second scenario, what was or what is your biggest weakness? Something answers like, I am perfectionist. Okay, heard a million times, HR will roll their eyes. Second one, I don't have any weakness, arrogant and dishonest. So Here you have to use the sandwich formula. What is this sandwich formula? Real weakness plus what you're doing to fix it plus proof of improvement. So here you have to again stitch up the formula, stitch up the star technique. Okay, so you start with, I used to struggle with public speaking, so I joined Toastmasters 6 months ago, and have now presented to over 50 people. I'm significantly more confident, and this is still an area I'm actively developing. So here what is happening is, you have told that there is a problem with you, that is your weakness, and you just gave an example of what you're doing to improve it, and then you're telling that how far you have come in improving that particular weakness. Now when you come to the scenario 3, okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years? One of the most frequently asked HR interview questions. Okay, so something like very bluntly saying that I'm going to be in your seat in the next 5 years. Okay, that is bold but very scary. Some HRs, they don't take this uh, in a very positive way. Okay, and something answer like I'm not sure shows a lack of ambition. Now these are both are wrong answers. So you should say something like, in 5 years I see myself as a senior so and so, having led some of the major projects contributing to your innovation, okay, roadmap, and mentoring junior team members. There you are showing that you want to contribute to the company by developing yourself and also guiding the juniors. Okay, that shows yourself as a team player and working, and someone who is working for the growth of the company. Okay, now the thing is, show ambition, okay, but align it with the company's growth. That is the most important thing. Now let us go to the scenario 4. Okay, do you have any other job offers? This is something that is also frequently asked for sometime freshers who are attending campus placements, who have already been placed with 2 or 3 companies. They are having 2 to 3 job offers. Now for them, this is very very important thing. So lying and saying no to seems very less demanding. So the right answer would be, to be honest but strategic. Okay, so you should say that I'm in conversation with couple of firms or a couple of companies, but this role basically excites me the most because of so and so reason. I'm hopeful we can finalize this quickly. This actually creates an urgency on their side without being dishonest. Now, when it comes to scenario 5, why should we hire you over the others? This is also one of the very, very important questions. So, telling a vague answer like I am a hard worker and a fast learner, these are very generic and forgettable. Now, when it comes to the real answer, so you should say I bring a very unique skill or a very unique combo of skills plus your achievement proof in my last project. Okay, then you give a star example. I'm ready to bring that same approach from day one. So be specific, be confident, and be you. That is what is important. Okay, and finally, the last scenario. Tell me about a gap in your resume. If you have a gap in your resume in your education, then you need to be prepared for that. Okay, being something like apologetic, okay, or evasive or dishonest about the gap, that is very very wrong. Okay, so you need to like own it very confidently. During that period I upskilled, I freelanced, okay, dealt with a family situation, worked on a project I used to, and came back stronger. That is something that you can say. Okay, own your journey. Every gap has a story. Tell it very well with a reason, with the learning. That is what is very important. Okay, now these are the 6 tricky HR scenario based questions. So I have explained all of them and told you also what would be a wrong answer and what would be a right answer. Okay, so I hope this will be very much helpful, and please do practice this. Practice makes a man perfect. Okay, so this is very very important. You need to practice each and every questions, okay, multiple times. It should never look like that you have mugged it up. Okay, you should be spontaneous. You should speak like something like you are on the face, you're telling it spontaneously. It is not something that is already pre-programmed in your mind. Okay, so now let us move to the module 5. Okay, so this is the most HR prep video, completely most of the people they basically ignore. Okay, your strategy should not be the same if you are a fresher or even if you are a experienced person. Okay, if you have 2 or more years of experience, then you need to be a little bit different compared to what actually the freshers will be answering. So here I have made two different categories, two different compartments here. So first one is for the fresher and the second one is for the experienced. Okay, so whoever falls under the bracket of 0 to 2 years, we will consider them as a fresher, whereas 2 plus years we consider them as an experienced candidate. So let us start with the fresher. If you are a fresher, listen carefully. You do not have a work history, but you do have a story to tell. Okay, and how you are actually going to play is that you're going to focus on the project and the internships. Your projects are basically your experience, so you will have to rig up a complete story around it, and know them inside and out about your all your projects and your internship. There you can use your star technique on both the project as well as the internship, and highlight your college achievements if you are a top ranker, or if you have been part of the extracurricular activities, wherein if you are a club president, secretary, treasurer, okay, or if you have participated in any hackathon outside the college exhibitions. So all these things you can highlight it in your achievements. These are really very very important and they do matter. Okay, show learnability. If you don't know something, okay, say I haven't worked on that particular topic, but you are approaching in so and so way to learn that. Use your academic star stories about your assignments, lab work, event management. All of these things they will count. Okay, please remember that you are a fresher, you don't have a work experience. Okay, so you are a fresher, you have to use these things only as a mode of kind of a story where you can impress the potential employer. Okay, and then next is most importantly, have a clear researched answer on expected salary. Use Glassdoor, or there are various other websites out there where you can actually search about the company, do your necessary research, and what is the salary for that particular role for which you are actually applying. And you need to have a very good enthusiasm. Compare companies actually they mainly invest on the freshers for their potentials, so you need to really actually prove your potential in that particular interview. Okay, and why this company, why this role, strengths, 5-year plan, this I have already explained in the previous slide. So be ready with these things. Okay, you have to be ready with these things. Now when we come to the experienced category, okay, so lead with impact stories. If you are into sales domain, I'm just taking an example over here. If you are into sales domain, you can say that I increased the revenue by X percentage, reduce the cost by so and so rupees. Okay, number are basically your currency, so put on the stats right at the start. That is the most important thing. Okay, have a crisp and positive reasons for your change, for the job change. Okay, you need to be prepared for that, and never say anything negative about your past employer. Okay, be very much clear about your notice period and your negotiation. Okay, that is very important. The third most important thing, don't reveal your current salary unless it is legally required. Okay, counter basically as much as possible, try to counter with the market data. Okay, have the leadership examples ready. Even if you were an individual contributor, you did not make it up to the team leader position, but make sure that you have a sufficient background story, okay, to prove your leadership qualities. That is very very important. Okay, and then make sure you prepare a value addition pitch. Okay, like within 90 days I can contribute by doing so and so. So these are some of the things that you throw in at the HR while you're attending an interview as an experienced candidate. Okay, so this was all about the module 5, where I have really customized strategies for both the freshers and experience. These do will play a very important role when you're attending your interview. Now let us move on to the module 6. So here I have explained about the AI and the modern HR trends. Okay, this is the new battleground actually, from right from 2025. Even though we are discussing this in the 2026, but this 2025 is where it all began. The AI and the modern HR trends actually started from the year 2025. So This is the module that most of the coaching center or most of the YouTube videos they completely actually skip and they don't include it. But what happened is, but in 2025, okay, if you but from 2025, okay, this is what actually happened. Okay, AI actually took over the entire interview process. So if you actually don't understand this, then you are already way behind than compared to other people who are attending the interviews. The way companies actually hire has fundamentally changed. Okay, so the artificial intelligence is involved at every stage AI is being included. Okay, let me actually explain this with this four biggest shift and exactly what you need to do about them. So here the first shift is AI powered video interviews. So what basically happens is there are platforms like HireView, okay, Spark Hires, Interview.ai, and Talview. Okay, so they are being now, as of now, used by the companies. Okay, these platforms they use AI to analyze your facial expression, your tone of voice, okay, your word voice, and your eye contact, and they score you on all of it. So it's the human intervention minus, and everything is a plus with the AI. Okay, so what you need to do for this is speak clearly at 130 to 150 words per minute. So you need to practice this very carefully. 130 to 150 words per minute. Look directly into the camera, not at your own face on the screen. Okay, so use keywords from the job descriptions naturally in your answers. Record yourself doing practice sessions and watch them back. This is how basically you will this is now a basic survival skill actually. So this is how you will beat the AI interviewer. Okay, so that is what I have mentioned in this particular PPT also. So first thing is, what I would say is that try to do some research on these platforms, how do they work. Then try to analyze or try to practice your facial expression, tone, and everything by standing in front of a mirror and practicing or recording yourself, and speak clearly. Make sure that you try to practice this 130 to 150 words per minute. Try to make eye contact with camera. Okay, and always try to use some of the keywords, okay, from the JD that you have received when you applied for a particular role. Practice with recorded mock sessions beforehand. That these are some of the very important things. Okay, now when you come to the second shift that has happened because of AI is the ATS. Okay, beat the resume bot. This is basically a resume bot, and mainly what is actually ATS? ATS is basically an applicant tracking system, and it screens 75% or more of the resumes before a human even actually sees them. So it is all like an application or a software tool you can call, where all the resumes are screened, and the shortlisted one then they are forwarded to the actual HRs. If your resume doesn't even pass the ATS, your application is dead on arrival, no matter how qualified you are. So, how do we actually beat the ATS system? Okay, so to beat the ATS, okay, match the keywords exactly from the job description. So, whatever job description you have, try to use those job description as the keywords in your resume. Okay, use standard section headers like experience, skill, education. Okay, and try to avoid tables, graphics, colored headers in your resume. Save as a docs or PDF. I would say PDF is good. Never save a docs file, because what happens is that when you share your document file, okay, there is some amount of chances that it might end up getting formatted, or the format might change when someone else downloads it. So I would always prefer to share it in the PDF format. Okay, use tools like jobscan.co and resumeworded.com to check your ATS score before submitting. So if you want to make sure that you are beating the ATS bot, then you need to follow exactly whatever I have said. Please do refer these websites like JobScan, Resume Worded to actually check your ATS score. Now, when we come to the shift 3 that has happened because of AI disruption, okay, so LinkedIn's social selling index actually matters to recruiters. So add the like open to work frame, post insights and achievements regularly on your LinkedIn page. get recommendations from professors and manager. So if you actually refer my page, I have a lot of recommendations. Okay, that is one of the most important thing. Okay, complete LinkedIn skills assessments to earn verified badge, and mainly connect proactively with recruiters and HRs at your target companies. Now these are some of the things that you need to make sure that your LinkedIn is up to date. Basically it is like making sure your LinkedIn is up to date. And the final shift that has happened is new HR practices. Okay, so the new HR practices in 2026 is that companies are now doing culture ad interviews. Okay, not just culture fit. Okay, they want to basically know what new perspectives you bring. Okay, DI focused questions are standard. Okay, then skill based hiring is basically overtaking the degree based hiring. So it is, as of now, it is everything is mainly based on the skill set that you have, not the degree is like just a key to open the door, but how you perform inside that room, that is all based on your skill set. Even your marks, like you may be a 10 CGPA or you may be a 9 CGPA, it will only help you to get into the room, but what you perform inside the room or the interview, it all depends on your skill set. Okay, so async video interviews, okay, where you record answers on your own time, are becoming common, and emotional intelligence, or the normally known as EQ, is weighed heavily as technical skills. So these are some of the things that are new HR practices. Not so much difficult, but you can actually crack this one. So this is like mainly about all the new AI interventions. So the bottom line for this is the modern job market is digital first. Your offline preparations and your online presence both will matter equally. Ignore any one of them and you lose the game. So both of them, they are equally important. So here I've just given you a brief overview of how this AI and modern HR trends are actually in place to test you, and this is more than sufficient for you to prepare for the new market. Now we move on to the next one, that is the module 7, that is the salary negotiation. So it is all about knowing your worth, and you should own this conversation. That is the most important. So I've divided this into 6 categories. Okay, or I can call the 6 most important principles over here. Okay, so this is where the student they leave lakhs of rupees on the table simply because they don't know how to have this conversation. Let me give you mainly 6 golden principles that I've listed out here. Will change how you approach every salary discussion for the rest of your career. So the principle one: research before you walk in. The most important thing is research. I have been telling this from the start of this video. Use LinkedIn Salary or Glassdoor or Ambition Box or Pay Scale to know the exact market range of your role. Okay, your city, city plays a very important role because the cost of living for each city is different. So knowing where you are getting the role in which city, that is very important. So these research are required, and your experience level. Walk in knowing the number. Don't guess, don't estimate, just know what is the number. So it should not be a guess game over there. You need to be very precise on this. Now when I go to the principle 2, never go first. Okay, when they ask what is the expected salary, the best response that I would I would love to first understand the full scope of the role. Okay, what is the budgeted range for this position? Okay, this actually basically what happens is you're throwing the ball in their court. Okay, so what I would call is there's a shift in the power. So you now negotiate from a number they reveal. Okay, not one you randomly state. So you're putting the ball in their court, right? Rather than directly asking like what is that you are offering, so you can put it in a very diplomatic way. Like I would love to first understand the full scope of the role, and then what is the budgeted range, okay, for this position. So this is how you play this thing, like never go first. Okay, when you come to the principle 3, anchor high. If you must give a number first, okay, state 15 to 20% above your actual target that you have done through your research. This gives you negotiation room. You can always come down gracefully. You can never go back up. So that is what is the important. So if you have done the research, and if you are applying for a role of a data scientist, and if that particular role as of now in the market is giving you around 13 to 14 lpa, you push it forward, okay, with around 17 to 18 lpa. So even if you come down, okay, you will come down gracefully, maybe up to 15 lpa. That is a win-win in both the situations. Okay, now the next thing is justify it. Okay, never basically just state a number, back it up. Okay, based on my years of experience, okay, okay, so my specific skill sets are so and so in this area, and the current market rate as of now is so and so, so I'm looking at so and so ctc. So this is how you basically justify whatever number that you just put up in the interview. And next one is total ctc. Look at the total ctc, not mainly the base. Okay, always ask about the base pay, variable pay, stocks, and esops, hra, pf, health insurance, joining bonus, and growth timeline. Okay, a slightly lower base with great esop can be far more valuable for a long run. So these are some of the things, okay, that you need to like ask when you are accepting the so and so ctc. And finally, the last principle is never accept instantly. Even if the offer is exactly what you wanted, say this: thank you so much for the offer, like, can I have 24 to 48 hours to review the complete details? This is completely basically normal thing, okay, and it's professionally like expected. Okay, why? Because it gives you the time to evaluate everything. Okay, salary negotiation mainly is not being greedy. It's about knowing your worth and having the confidence to ask for it. Companies respect candidates who negotiate professionally. So when you go in there, salary negotiation, it's very important. So I've listed out all the possible scenarios, the principles, so just follow this and you will cross the line gracefully. Now, let us move on to the next set. Okay, that is the questions you ask the HR. Okay, so when you ask any questions to HR, show curiosity, not desperation. Okay, so it's like, do you have any question for us? It's not optional, it's your final impression. Always have three to four ready. Okay, the first thing is about the role. Okay, what does success look like in this role in the first 90 days? What are the biggest challenges the person in this role will face? Like, can you tell me about day-to-day responsibilities? What skills are the most important for excelling in this position? So these are some of the things you can ask about the role. And when you talk about the team and the culture, how would you describe the team culture here? What's the management style of the direct supervisor? So these are some of the things that you should ask. How does a team typically handle disagreement or the feedback? Are there regular one-on-ones, team stand-ups? So these are the things that you should ask about the teams also. It is very important that you have some arsenal in your bag, like to ask the question about the growth and the future. See, everyone is like serious about their career growth. So what career paths have people in this role taken? Okay, does the company support certifications, higher education? What does the typical growth trajectory mainly looks like? So these things you need to be ready with these questions when you are actually attending the HR questions. Are there any internal mobility or transfer opportunities internally? Who knows, you might, once you join, you might find some of the roles that is more like appropriate for you, but it comes under uh, different departments. So if there is any internal transfer, that will be very much helpful for you. Okay, so about the company, what excites you most about the company's direction right now? How has the company evolved over the last 2 years? What are the top priorities for the company this year? How does leadership communicate vision to the team? So these are some of the areas that you really need to work on when you're attending the HR interview, and it gives a very good impression, showcasing that you are like you are very much interested in the joining that particular organization. So that was all with this particular slide. Like, if you are asking any questions to the HR. Now, when we come to the last module, that is the module 8 here. Okay, so the thing is about the module 8 is basically like do's and don'ts. Uh, these are something that are non-negotiable. Okay, first thing is uh, let me start with the do's. Okay, habits that every successful candidate has. Then we'll go through the don'ts. Okay, what I call the instant rejection triggers. Okay, first we'll go with the do's. Okay, so first thing is you have to arrive or log in like 10 to 15 minutes early than your scheduled time. Do a proper research about the company or the interview. If you know who is your interviewer, so just basically do the proper research about the interviewer beforehand. Greet warmly with a smile and a firm handshake. Listen completely before answering. Pause if needed. Use specific examples with number and outcome. Maintain confident eye contact throughout. Ask thoughtful questions at the end. Send a thank you email within 24 hours. Follow up once after 3 to 5 business days. And mainly be honest even about your gaps and weaknesses. So I have in previous slides, I've explained you how to handle the gaps and the weaknesses. Speak positively about your past employers always. If you're an experienced candidate, show genuine enthusiasm for the role in the company. Now these are some of the things that fall under the category of do's. Okay, habits that are for the successful candidates. Now when it comes to the instant rejection triggers, never ever badmouth a previous employer or a colleague. Never lie about your skills, experience, or qualification. Don't use filter words, like, okay, don't check your phone during an interview. Don't say I don't know or say great question. Okay, I would approach it by, okay, don't negotiate salary in the first round. Avoid crossing arms, slouching, or fidgeting. Okay, never interrupt the interviewer mid sentence. Don't ask about leave off days in early rounds. Never appear desperate or beg for the job. Don't be overly rehearsed, sound natural. That's what I said. You should not look like you're mugged up a particular topic and you're just blabbering it out there in the interview. Never forget to bring the required documents. Now these are some of the things that actually comes under the don'ts. Do's and don'ts are very important because I've seen many of the experienced candidates or sometimes fresher also preparing for everything but doing a slight or a small mistake and they are like just out of the race. Now, when you go to the body language and communication, I would say the thing is, I would go with the 55-38-7 rule. Okay, so there's this guy called as Albert. Okay, this is his rule. So, what he says is 55% it's all about body language, 38% it's about tone and the voice, and 7% it's about the words that you speak or like speak in the interview. Now, the thing is, that means basically you are you could basically say all the right words and still you could fail the interview if your body is sending the wrong signals. Okay, then you are done with this particular interview. So what basically it says that the highest percentage is allotted for the body language. So your body language plays a very important role here. First thing is the eye contact. You need to maintain 60 to 70% eye contact. Look away naturally when you're thinking. Okay, do not stare, it's unsettling. In video calls, look at the camera, not at your own face on the screen. This is the single most common video interview mistake that mainly most of the people do. So you need to look at the camera, not at the face that is appearing on the screen. Hand gestures. Okay, open palms signal openness and honesty. Okay, steepled fingers signal confidence. Do not tap the table, click your pen, or touch your hair repeatedly. Okay, these signal basically anxiety. Okay, your gesture should basically match and amplify your words. Next one is posture and sitting. Sit straight, lean slightly forward, don't slouch or recline. Okay, feet flat on the floor. Okay, mirror interviewers energy is very mirror like interviewers energy. Okay, so you need to have the same energy that interviewer is basically having. Okay, your gestures should basically match and amplify your words. That is the most important thing here. Now when you come to the next one, that is the facial expression. Smile genuinely when appropriate, not like completely laughing throughout the interview. Nod to show that you're actively listening. Avoid blank or anxious expressions. Express Okay, authentic enthusiasm, not forced, not fake. Video and tone. Next one. That is the most important thing. Speak around 130 to 160 words per minute. Too fast sounds anxious. Too slow sounds unassured. So you need to vary your pitch. Okay, a flat, monotone voice basically loses the interviewer's attention. Pause before answering. Mainly, what happens? It will show that your thoughtfulness, not uncertainty, and project your voice with warmth and clarity. Now, this is all about voice and toning. Now when we come to the next, that is digital etiquette for video interviews. Okay, camera at the eye level should be there, not below. You need to have very good lighting so your face is fully visible, and stable internet connections with headphones, professional clutter free background. Now these are some of the things that when we go into the digital uh, etiquette. Okay, so these are the six important areas that is very important. Always remember 55-38-7 rule. 55 is the body language, 38 is your tone, and 7 is the word that you speak. Okay, now when we go to the next slide, that is slide number 15. Okay, this is the special scenario, group discussion and stress interviews. So on one side I have group discussion mastery, on the other side I have stress interviews. Okay, okay, these are basically two special scenarios that many students they don't prepare for separately: group discussion and stress interviews. Okay, so we are going to cover both of them, and we will start with the first one, is the group discussion. In the GD round, you're not being evaluated on what basically you say. You are mainly evaluated on how you interact with others, or how well you are listening to them and actually answering. Initiate or add a point early. Speak in the first 30 seconds. Okay, being heard first will basically build your presence. Structure your point. Okay, point, it should be like the first one should be point, the reason should be there, an example. Okay, and such that it should link back to the topic. Okay, it should be short, clear, and impactful. Be inclusive. Okay, invite, okay, quieter members. Okay, say I would like to hear from so and so perspective on this. It shows the leadership. Disagree respectfully. That's an interesting point. You need to first appreciate them, so that's an interesting point. A different perspective would be like good. Never be aggressive. You should never be aggressive in the group discussion, even though you are not agreeing or you are not in favor of someone else's point. Okay, add new value. If your point was covered, say I agree with so and so because so and so, and I'll also add these 2 points to this. Volunteer to summarize basically at the end. If it shows that you are listening, leading, and basically thinking clearly. So these are some of the things that you need to prepare for when you're attending a group discussion. Next one is the stress interviews. Some companies deliberately create pressure situations to test your emotional intelligence. So what I will do is I'll show you small examples. So they'll basically tell you like, sell me this pen. Okay, so don't panic, don't say you can't. Focus on asking questions about the customer's trend. Okay, create urgency and basically close confidently. It's not about the pen, it's about your sales mindset. So sometimes they will have a rapid fire questions. Okay, they shoot a question fast, barely giving you time to answer. Take a breath quietly, like, mainly why? Because quality will beat your speed. So say, let me think on that briefly, and pause. Okay, that composed under the pressure is the answer that they are looking for. So that is what is important. It should not be always that you are going to answer. So take your time, okay, then you answer. Okay, the silence tactic. HR stares at you after your answer. Don't panic, don't over explain or backtrack. Like, hold your answer, smile. Okay, they are testing your composure, not disagreeing with you. These are some of the tactics the HR will use. Deliberately critical HR. Okay, they challenge or they will criticize your answer. Don't fold too early. Okay, say thank you for that. Okay, prospective. Okay, but my view, maintain stance calmly and confidently, and say, this is my thing. Okay, with confidence and not without any but with confidence and not without sorry, you have to say your answer with confidence but without the arrogance in your answer. Okay, impossible puzzle questions they will ask. They will like, how many golf balls fit in an aeroplane? Think it loud, show your reasoning process. They don't want the right answer, they want to see how you think. So these are some of the things that will be asked in the stress interviews. We start with the sell me this pen, rapid fire question, silence tactic, deliberate, their critical HR, they will criticize you and all. So take it slowly, think it over and then answer. Never criticize, never be arrogant in the interview. Okay. So it is not like every time you need to say the correct answer. Sometimes they will see how is your thinking process. Okay. So this was all about these special scenarios that basically no one includes in their interview, in their basically preparation. So the next one is the post interview actions. Like after the interview, what are the things that you need to really look into? So I have added all the possible things that you need to do. Okay. So what you do basically in the 7 to 10 days after your interview can be the difference between getting an offer and not getting ghosted. So within 1 hour, send a thank you email. Okay, just write a small personalized thank you email for the HR or the interviewer. Okay, with referencing something specific to the conversation. Keep it short, 5 to 7 lines. The next one is day 2, 1 and 2, connect on the LinkedIn. And after that, day 3 and 5, follow up on email. If you don't get any response, 7 plus days, evaluate and reflect. Review what went well and what to improve. Log all the questions that were asked. Update your preparation for the next interviews. The thing is, if you get offer, then negotiate smart. Review the complete offer. Okay, offer letter carefully, base, variable, PF, insurance, stocks, okay, notice buyout, joining bonus, everything. And after joining, it should be like 30, 60, 90 plan. Okay, have a mental 30, 60, 9, 6, 30, 60 and 90-day plan ready. Deliver quick wins in month 1. This validates the hiring decision. So that is very means in the first 30 days you need to show some progress. Okay, so that is what will basically make you popular in the particular organization that you've been hired for. The next one is best resources, the complete preparation toolkit. So there are various YouTube channels I have listed out here. Okay, you can basically go there, prepare for your interviews. I have listed out all the famous YouTube channel which you can actually refer. There is Unstop. Okay, there is Career Wit. So these YouTube channel are very good when it comes to interview preparation. Then there are certain websites like Glassdoor is number one, Ambition Box is there, and there is something called as LinkedIn.com. Learning is also there. Interview Bit is very good for mock interviews. Unstop.com, practice group discussions, quizzes, and challenges. Naukri.com's learning is there, so there you will get free HR preparation courses. Then books to basically read. What color is your parachute? Okay, knock them like dead interviews. So these are some of the books also that will help you to actually crack the HR interview or any kind of interview process if you read them. And the AI tool, like you can use Chat GPT and practice. Cloud, you can use interviewing.io. So here you will get real mock interviews with basically engineers. Pramp.com is there. So it is a free basically peer-to-peer mock interviews you can conduct here. And JobScan is there. Optimize your resume for ATS. Resume worded.com is there. It will give your resume score and improvement. So these are some of the tools or the resources that is out there for your preparation. So please kindly go through all these tools. uh, it will be really very much helpful. What I would say is that HR interview is not something like a walk in the park. It is little bit difficult. Okay, it is a little bit complex, but if well prepared, you can really ace this particular interview. Finally, the ultimate pre-interview checklist. Okay, you print this 3 to 7 days before, research the company deeply, practice your introduction, record it, prepare 5-star stories. I've already told, dress code checks, iron your clothes. Okay, update your resume, keep 10 copies ready, confirm the interview time and the venue, or if it is an online link. Okay, minimum prepare mainly 5 questions for the HR. Check your online presence. Okay, so these are some of the things that you need to do, like before the interview. And day before the interview, go through the job descriptions once again. Okay, final mock interview in front of the mirror, you can do this. Lay out the documents and basically the outfit. Test your laptop camera, mic, if it is a video interview or an online interview. Sleep by 10 p.m. Minimum 7 plus hours of sleep is required, because a calm mind is one of the most important thing that is required when you are attending the interview. That will give you 10 times more confidence when you're attending an interview. So you plan how you are going to reach the venue, if it is an online, like through your own bike, BMTC bus, or any kind of public transport. So you need to well reach in advance, because we know how difficult public transport can get, or it can delay you. That is one of the things. Okay, set minimum 2 alarms to get up early in the morning. Okay, light reading. So these are some of the things that you need to really look one day before the interview. Then when it is coming to the day of the interview, wake up minimum 2 hours early, eat a proper breakfast, dress completely. Okay, arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. Deep breathing exercise is important, because that will improve your confidence. Okay, give quick, basically confidence uh, power pose is very much required. Mainly put your phone on the silent mode, because it should not be like you're attending the interview or getting a call also, so it is not good. Smile, okay, whenever it is required, because you have got this covered, and surely you will be selected if you follow each and everything that I have just spoken about in this particular video. So the thing is, by the end of this video, okay, you are, if you have gone through each and every detail, you're prepared for this, I would say that you are completely ready with the HR interview. Walk in with mainly confidence. Okay, speak the truth. Okay, and land your dream job. Okay, preparation will 100% preparation beats the talent every single time. Okay, every no is basically one step closer to your yes. Okay, use AI tools to practice. They are your 24 bar 7 coach. Then the best answer is your authentic story well told. Okay, so best of luck. Okay, the job is yours. Okay, so this is mainly prepared with love for all the students across India who are preparing for this their placement. And here I've not included any fancy animations or anything. This is a pure PPT based video where I think I can help the student fraternity in their placement preparation. But always remember, okay, it is all about your hard work. Okay, if you prepare each and every area with your hard work, dedication, consistency, and discipline, there is not even a single reason which says that you will not get placed. Okay, so please go through all the contents that I have explained. Feel free to contact me. Okay, 100% I'm saying that you will crack the HR round. Okay, so with this I end my video. Please do like, share, and comment. That is what is going to make this video very much reachable to all the students, or viral for all the students, because we never know who will get benefit out of this. So even if one is getting benefit out of this, I'm very much happy. But let's all share this video with each and everyone who is preparing for placement drive. Okay, so with this I will sign off. Okay, so thank you everyone. This is Aditya signing off. Do take care of yourself. Okay, prepare well, put in your hard works. Consistency, discipline is the most important thing right now that is required for you. Don't allow your mind to get deviated from your aim. Okay, don't be lazy, work hard. Once again, commitment, consistency, discipline will surely beat anything that is put on your way. Thank you. Do take care.